Yes, I am watching one of my games back. Why, you may ask, Lionheart? Why wouldn't I just have posted this? Because it was live on Twitch. Well, I thought, do you know what? After playing this game, this was one of the most fun games I think I've ever played in my time as DE. I say that every now and then, but do you know what? It wasn't just my favorite, one of my most fun games. It was a game I was extremely proud of. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Win or lose, I was extremely proud of this game. So here I am, playing as Dutch. Yes, that's right. I'm playing as Dutch. Considered to be a quote-unquote bad civilization. Let me just tell you this, guys. Don't let anyone tell you what the meta is. Do not let the meta dictate how you play this game. Don't let anyone tell you you can't play a certain way. Because believe me, you can. So we've got a bit of early game going on here. You can see this guy, Curtaboy, has walked all the way from downtown, all the way around here, just to find this treasure. And sneak it off me. I was not happy. So as you can imagine, I thought, right, you silly little sausage. I'm going to make you punish. I'm going to make you pay for this. I'm going to make you punish. Sounds very sexual, doesn't it? Well, there was a lot of tension. I'll tell you that much right now. So I thought, right, if I can kill him, I can make it worth it. Just look at this guy's walking pattern. Look at this guy's walking pattern. All the way down here. It's a high risk, high reward, type of scouting pattern. There's a couple of guys that do this kind of walking pattern, and I'll never understand it. I'll never understand why you would walk all the way to the other side of the map. If I was to always advise a new player on how to scout at the beginning of the game, it would be to scout your base mainly. I mean, if you know where good treasure points are, then obviously you can do a wider range, but scout where you are first. Don't put yourself in harm's way. And scout your base so you know where all your gold mines are and you know where all of your herds are. That would be my advice to newer players or lower elo players. Just so you know where all of your stuff is, so you can start herding early. You know where the gold mines are, etc., etc. But no, some people they don't care. And you can see here, I even brought my envoy along to try and do the damage. But he somehow gets away from my snare. And so I wasn't able to punish him. But I did do a lot of damage to him. So, he can't get treasures. I can't get treasures. But at least I'm doing something by taking damage off his explorer. And damage off an explorer, I always say this, you've got to treat an explorer like a resource. A very, very valuable resource. And damaging your opponent's HP on their hero is a really... It's just pure value. You can't go wrong because you never know... You never know if that explorer will be able to tank however many TC shots. It'll be able to tank one less cavalry hit, one less skirm hit. You just never know. You just never know. So it's always really important to do as much damage to your opponent's hero as you possibly can. There I am picking up 60 wood. We've got Curtaboy. Let's have a quick look at his deck. Pretty standard deck, as you can see. Nothing out of the ordinary. Interesting, it has riding school. You don't see that very often. It's a very good late game card. Basically, cavalry build time is minus 40%. It does have advanced artillery as well. Other than that, it's very standard. You'll see me. Yes, I'm called Amaranth's Feet. I don't actually like Amaranth's Feet. Or do I? Anyway, subscribe to Amaranth's OnlyFans. No, don't. Seriously. So what you can see here, I'm doing some herding. I've got my first bank up. And, yeah, I really wanted this wood treasure, 90 wood. And, yeah, I got denied because I saw this outpost go up. And I was like, my goodness me, the first time I played Dutch in months. And I get tower rushed. It's been a long time since I got tower rushed. And if anyone doesn't know, this outpost is called the Tower Rush. And it's been in the game since the legacy days, the 2006, 7, 8s. I was dealing with this Tower Rush back in those days. It was a lot more prevalent back then because it was more the meta. And it's not really the meta these days, but it's still a very good build order. So the reason you build that forward outpost is so the shipment here, the 8 crossbow and 2 Ulan shipment, which is an insane age 2 shipment. It's like almost value-wise, it's almost like an age 3 shipment. It comes straight from this outpost, and look at this. He's already got, you know, a big mass at 5 minutes. And he does actually take a villager there, and I was a little bit annoyed because that villager, I literally clicked on that villager to bring it in to my base, and then the 2 Ulans start attacking it. So I was like, oh, a little bit rusty in that respect. But he did herd that villager. He didn't go down in vain because he did a really good job herding this this deer in. So basically now, I'm getting crossbow rushed. I'm thinking, right, how am I going to deal with this? I did get my second bank up. There's 700 wood on the floor, which I've half collected. And I thought, do you know what? I'm against the tower rush, Expo Pike. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want the skirm. I don't want to go skirm or huzzah or any silliness like that. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to counter it my way. And I'm going to ship town militia right there. And the difference is now why town militia, I've done town militia videos before on the importance of town militia, because it very often makes a difference of 2 town center shots killing a unit to 1 town center shot killing a unit. And yes, town militia kills crossbows and pikemen in 1 shot apiece. So you're killing units literally twice as quickly. And that makes it, look at this, like 1 expo down, 2 expo down, 3 expo down. I've started getting villagers out, building my bank. And it's just such a really good deterrent against the opponent. Now, it is counterable. So the opponent sees this now. Like, if he's a smart player, he will look at the damage that a TC was doing. He will look that his units, his 4 HP units are dying in 1 hit. So he'll know that I've shipped town militia now. So he's going to make countermeasures against that. So we'll see what he does here. So yeah, there goes down my 4th bank. You can see here, I'm kind of trying to do it in a defensive positioning. I do have these berries in the way, which is a little bit unfortunate because you can't build over them. I do get my market down. I build my market a bit safely because, you know, it's risky trying to put a market here. Could have gotten away with it, but yeah. So expos, crossbows, just kind of trying to walk around the map, trying to contain me, try and do some damage, be a bit of a nuisance. Those 2 Ulans there. We do see Kurtaboy. There comes a bank wagon, which I get down. So I'm going for 5 banks. So this is super greedy build. This is like something you would usually see against Russia. When Russia do their kind of crazy rush, you know, you would get that town militia, so you kill Strelets and their muskets in 1 hit. And then go 5 banks as well. So I'm adapting to the situation. I saw the outpost rush. I knew there was going to be crossbow pikes. And so I went for town militia, which was a good countermeasure. Now Kurtaboy is countermeasuring me by looking like here he's going for the age up. So he's using whatever units he has left to slow me down, put my villagers inside my TC. Yes, he will lose his units, but he wants to try and get a couple of kills. He's trying to find he's trying to see any weak villagers that I've got, but he's not able to find anything. And yeah, he's going to literally lose all of his units right there. Almost all of his units. He still has 1 Ulan running around. And yeah, so it's been a game where I've adapted to the situation, and now my opponent is adapting to my adaptation. And he's doing a good adaptation here. He's containing me, and he is going up straight to Fortress Age. He sees the 5 banks as well. So he's you know, that's his countermeasure. So at the moment, this is a really close game. So he has 8 extra settlers added on. So he's on about 31 villagers right now. Likely he's going to have steel traps, placer mines. So he's got a lot of good upgrades as well. I'm trying to get hunting dogs, etc. But I am on 5 banks, so that's going to give me a huge early boost to this game. I'm on 19 vills. But I am aging up as well, so I'm going to get to the age up before him. There comes my steel traps. I've still got a good big herd here. I am going to need another herd shortly. We've got my explorer up here on a lot of HP. Shout out to Don Artie, a.k.a. Don Farty, one of the best Dutch players in the game, who plays a lot of Age of Empires 4. Some of you guys might know him from Age of Empires 4, because he plays that quite a lot. And yeah, so now I'm just chilling. I know I'm going to need some units, so I'm starting to make... I did get a stable down with the 600 wood, so I basically went for 3 vills, 700 wood, town militia, bank wagon, and 600 wood. Killing all of those units that I killed gave me a lot of XP, so that really helped as well. So I did get my stable down. 5 Ulans coming out. Don't have a shipment yet, though. So I see these bows. So I see these Ulons. So I'm trying to chase them just to snipe a couple of Ulons. I managed to snipe one, but not kill it. And bang, 5 skirmishers coming out at the perfect time. I do have my envoy left over here, as you can probably see. Just being super annoying because the only way he can kill that is if he sends units back to his base or if he puts villagers inside his TC. And he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to put villagers inside his TC just to kill an envoy because that would tank that would tank probably 3 hits with 10 villagers inside. And that's a lot of wasted villager seconds. Somehow Curtis Boy finds my explorer over here as I'm getting treasures and whatnot. So really lucky actually finding him. But you know, you got to make your own luck in this game. And if you're not searching, then you're not going to make your own luck. I'm building a tiny little single segment wall here just because I feel like it's too much of a wide open gap. So by putting that little wall there, that's just going to be really kind of make his units bump into each other. Look at this. Just make it a bit awkward for my opponent. And he decides to back up. Look, so he can't just dive into that huge gaping hole there. That's what she said. It wouldn't be the first wide open hole I've dived into, if you know what I mean, boys. Enough of the loot talk. And yeah, I'm shipping a fort right now. I ship my fort in an interesting place because we'll see how quickly it takes him to see it. He doesn't see it yet. So I wanted to really, it was the only place I could put it where it would guarantee to get built. And, you know, as long as it's within the range of my TC, I think it's okay. He sees it now. He sees it now, and he's diving in. He wants a piece of the action. So he's going for it. Red alert, dive in. I'm like, right, all hands on deck. I need to protect this fort as best as I can, so in come the Minutemen. Unfortunately, because I'm aging up, I don't have enough resources to get the large Minutemen, so I was only able to get the small Minutemen. But is it going to be enough? I do still have the town center fire, don't forget, so I've got 135 range attack, that's thanks to town militia, so I am still doing a lot of damage. The fort does go up, but only on about a third HP. It's going to do a lot of damage to these skirmishers now. The Minutemen just about cleaned up all the cab and the war wagons as well, and they're the ones that have the siege attack. So the Minutemen doing a really fantastic job here. I get caught by Ulons, but, you know, I managed to see it. I start fighting like crazy. I accidentally forgot to put those in the same control group, so a little bit of a miss micro there by me. But I get my S together. And now I'm relying very heavily on the fort and TC fire to do as much damage as they can. I'm desperately trying to buy food because I haven't got any villagers gathering. I'm desperately trying to buy food so I can build more Reuters. The fort is still alive. I get the age up. I go super greedy with the age up. And I get the gold, the Tycoon age up, because I'm super greedy. And you can see here, there's not a lot I can do. I can ship some units, and more Reuters come in. My fort is trying to target the veteran war wagons whilst the routers focus on the Ulons. And you can see the fort now is on 200 HP. And it valiantly goes down. But look at the damage I have done to my opponent. TC Fire is going crazy. TC Fire has done so much damage this game. And look, this is what is left of my opponent. Yes, he takes my fort down, but was it worth the cost? Well, we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Yes, so I age up, and yes, you see Belinda Hitman. Hitam? Belonda Hitam? Anyway, we'll call it Hitam. So, yes, I am shipping this card. One of my favorite cards that came into this game. It does cost 500 gold, and it allows me to... And basically all I've got right now is gold, because I've still got 5 banks, right, which is pretty crazy. And, yeah, so the only thing I am getting a lot of is gold. So, bang! In comes those 12 elite Akans. You get 3 Royal Embassy wagons with it as well. And boy, oh boy, do these Akans do some work. For anyone who doesn't know, these guys are really good in mass because they have that area of effect damage. They're kind of worse than a normal musketeer, but better in a big mass. And because I was so close to my opponent there, that area effect was doing so much work against those skirmishers. So really nice pop of those Akans for me. I decide to change what shipment I'm sending, and it's going to be the heavy cannon. So, classic Musk Falk. Not that you see Musk Falk with Dutch very often because they can't make musketeers, but I'm making musketeers, baby. Bang, up goes those Royal Embassies. So he's still pushing this bank. He's likely going to take that down. I'm starting to come over here for a herd. I'm starting to build a church. I've got a couple of my royal embassy wagon and kind of barracks, native buildings over there. Just because if I'm making units, I want them to be able to be very close to this natural resources here, this gold mine and the food, so I can protect those villagers that are over there. So Sneakyville's over there. If you look at the score, I'm 7k score up. But honestly, don't judge the score this game on how close this game is. Seriously. So it's looking good for me at the moment, and I'm really happy with how things are going. I've got so much gold. I did lose a bank there, but that's okay. So I did manage to get 1,500 gold to be able to get mercantilism, and that's going to pay for these 2 really important shipments. Bang, there it is, 2 shipments. Almost perfectly, and bang, there come the factories. You do see now, we talk about countermeasures this game, so this is another really good countermeasure to what I'm doing right now. So he has shipped advanced artillery, and you are seeing this card more and more. You are seeing this advanced artillery card more and more. He's going out here for a really good, juicy raid, and I think he pretty much cleans up all of these villagers. I do send my Reuters there, so I do kill about 7 or 8 Ulons there, which is nice for me, but losing villagers does hurt. So he's on 56 plus 8. So he's on about 44 villagers, which is pretty big. And I'm only on 18 villagers. However, I'm still on 3 banks. I've got 2 factories on the way. And Kurtaboy, though, this advanced artillery really applying pressure. So I always say how good this card is. Not only is it a good anti-turtle card, it forces your opponent to come to you. And that's what you really want. You don't want the big kind of TC pops and advantage that all of the Minutemen and the line of sight that your base gives you. So your opponent is not only kind of forcing the anti-turtle on you, he's forcing you to come out of your turtle shell and fight him. Hence why it's called a turtle, because they can stay inside of their shell for all of the game. So I get asked a lot of questions about why is it called turtle? Why is it called turtling? There you have it. There's a little bit of Lionheart RTS real-time strategy information for you. Turtles can turtle inside of their shell. They can protect themselves. They can hide in their shell. Their shell is very hard. It's very defensive, and they don't need to move. He went here for another little Ulon raid, but I just leave my Reuters here just to protect these guys. I don't really need my Reuters that badly. But now I'm starting to push because I thought, do you know what? I've had enough of that artillery. I don't see any culverins right now, so my heavy cannons can just go ahead and push. I'm massing a lot of these Akanobias as well. So I'm killing a lot of this infrastructure. Bang! In comes 3 culverins, the magic number. And you can see here, I think I see them at the last second. So I do push forward to make sure nothing's coming. And they unpack. And I was unpacking to move towards the artillery. But luckily, at the last second, I decided to click away from the artillery. And that allowed me to keep the heavy cannon alive. So you can see here, just making more Akans. I've got a lot of juicy resources still. Kurtaboy doing really good on his villagers. He's on about 47 vills right now. Still just the 1 TC though. Still only in age 3. And look at the scores now. Scores really close now. And this one thing I noticed about this Kurtaboy, he's a very aggressive player. Very, very aggressive German player, which is always very scary. So he's constantly pushing me, constantly pushing the advantage. And again, look at this constant raiding, just using the age up Ulons that he gets here, just to use them as raiding tools. So I'm pushing back. I'm coming back. And he keeps forcing me. He knows I haven't got culverins, and he knows I've only got these Akans, which are essentially only musketeers at this stage. And very risky of him to dive into my TC with the culverins. And as a result, I try and punish him. And boom, look at this. This is the perfect sandwich. Perfect micro for me right here. Don't need my heavy cannons. What I've done is I've forced my Akans to be in a position where they can just fire on anything. And if Akans get close enough to anything, they will beat out almost anything because of that area of effect damage that they have. And you do not want to get in the way of that. So I managed to kill 3 culverins without even having to make culverins myself. I do happen to make a couple of culverins, but I didn't need them. So basically gone Musk, Falk, Cove. You know, my favorite way of doing it. But I am doing it in a very unique way. And my God, do I love these Akans. And man, do I love that Akan card. Any Dutch players out there, you know, that want to play this style of that Akan card is very, very good. Because you essentially get a triple racks from it as well, where you can make more of them. So yeah, so really, really nice, really, really cool card. Still on 3 banks at the moment. I've got 2 factories though, one on food, one on coin. And yeah, I'm just trying to be able to make as many units as I possibly can. I now dive into this artillery foundry. You see over here, this gold mine that's usually spawns here has been completely depleted. And it was these villagers that came forward to this mine as well. So wasn't able to catch them out, unfortunately. That mortar's somehow escaping as well with its free speed. You see over here, he knows he can't win now. So because he can't win, he decides to go all the way around here and attack my economy right here. And I've got nothing other than these Reuters defending these villagers. So what I did with the Reuters, I put them in melee just to slow the war wagons down so less villagers would die. So again, this Kurta boy, and for anyone who wants to know his elo, he was about the same elo as me at the time. I played him twice, and so he was he's well over 2,000 elo. So he's a very good player. And a fun fact about this guy, whilst I was playing, Izad told me that he was the highest rated the Asian Dynasty player. For anyone who doesn't know what the Asian Dynasty was, that was the old school Age of Empires 3 game. So he still plays the Legacy version, the TAD Legacy version. And he's the highest rated player on there, apparently. So, you know, and the games are still very similar. D obviously just has a lot more stuff these days, but, you know, the games are still very similar. So, you know, to be playing against the highest rated Legacy player is, you know, is quite the interesting feat. So we'll see if I can beat the highest ranked player. But look, the scores are very, very close. And Germany is starting to edge back. He's starting to destroy a lot of these buildings. For anyone who doesn't know, we'll come over to me a little bit. I did build this church because I did ship the religious freedom card. So I did get some of the text from it. And one of them are right there. Look at that perfect timing. And I do get one of the texts right there, the blue guards. I did ship the bank one. There it is, the coffee trade. And I get that come in just before he decides to not take the church down. I don't think I get the red lancers here. So I just decided to dive in for the TC. He's attacking me. I need to do something. So I do ship the blue guards, more Akans as well. So lots of heavy musks here and lots of automatic kind of guard-type musketeer units getting spawned for me here. He does catch me with the skirm, so I'm forced to back up there. So nice play by him, catching them out. So I wanted to hang around a little bit and do some damage to all of this infrastructure, but you know, I decided against that, so I decided to go for him instead. And he's doing a really good job. He's taken down a lot of infrastructure, killed houses, destroyed banks here. Look, we've got one bank on 250 HP somehow. That is unfortunate for him. Let me see here. He sees those heavy cannons all by their little lonesome, and he wants a piece of the action. And he does get a pop off. He gets a little shot off before I get any countermeasures on him. These guys, the war wagons are so good, man. 46 range attack with 18 range. So he's got the range caracol as well for the extra range. But what do musketeers do best? They march forward. A turn, hut. And that's exactly what I tell them to do here. Just move forward. Just keep moving forward. And that's exactly what they're doing here. And that completely splits his army here, and that allows bang, and I've got my culverins unpacked so I catch anything coming out of that artillery. I was very, very quick here, and bang, he doesn't take down anyone. I've got culverin royales with cheese, and he only has age-free culverins. I'm now 10k score up. Starting to look really good for me, but it's not over yet. It is not over yet. And so now my heavy cannons are really going to be able to do some damage here. Does have his mortar, which was attacking my heavy cannons, but it's not going to do much damage. Look at that heavy cannon. Boom. Look at the micro there. So his skirmishes get very limited. He is shipping Jaegers. So we will see very shortly a little surprise coming from me. So as all this is going on, yes, I just did go to South Africa. The Dream Revolt. My favorite revolt. Everybody's favorite revolt because it's just the best. It's just there's nothing as so much as satisfying as getting into South Africa Revolt. It's so satisfying. But it's not a tempo sieve, so you do need to make sure that you don't lose the game when you spend all of those resources to not get a lot of tempo. You got to make sure you don't lose the game here. Again, Kurtaboy, the Jaegers are coming in, and bang, he's just straight on it once again. Feels like he can take this army on, and I'm not paying much attention here, as you can see. And he's diving up behind me, so I try and counter again. Almost takes down one of my heavy cannons. He knows if he can take down those heavies, he's got a really strong skirm goon composition here. And I'm struggling here because these things only have 12. My musketeers have 12 range, so they get well out-kited by the war wagons. So my first shipment is 2 banks. So it's a nice shipment. Not only does it give you 2 banks, it increases your limit of banks by another 2 as well. So you can see here, I'm now building another 2 on top of the 2 that I've shipped. Like I said, it gives you another extra 2. I'm now I'm now making an extra 2 because I've got the spare resources. So I'm now just trying to take a good fight here. I'm hoping I can kill the war wagons, but he kills my heavy cannons. And like I said, once those heavy cannons go down, I'm kind of left with not a lot. I try and get a crack shot on one of his mercenaries there, but it's not a lot. And look at this army. It's really, really scary for me to deal with. And I don't have anything right now. I'm struggling. I'm rushing around thinking, crap, how am I going to defend against this? So I'm rushing around. I try and buy a load of wood, and I just make a hell load of artillery. I thought, like, just give me those horse artillery. And even though I've got artillery, it's not going to do a lot against these war wagons. So I need to try and do something ASAP here to defend these artillery pieces. I do send all of my trek wagons over here because that's where I'm gathering from. And don't forget, trek wagons are like moving outposts. And he knows it. And he knows it. He sees these dead herds, and he makes a beeline for it. And I see he's making a beeline for it. And as a result, you can see I'm moving trek wagons around because I'm going to want to put them inside the trek wagons. So some nice villager micro here by me. Look, villagers going into the trek wagons. Get them inside, baby. And then bang, run away with the trek wagons. Yep, he kills 1 trek wagon, but that hasn't got villagers in it. The villagers are inside. They're running away. Come on, villagers. Can I keep them alive? Does he attack the right or wrong one? Who knows? I think you might be able to tell. You can see this trek wagon has 45 range attack because it's got 5 villagers inside. And he does manage to find one of the right ones there. And there goes some of the villagers. But most of the villagers get away with it. And those villagers as well, a couple of them stay alive anyway. So the trek wagon's really saving my bacon right now. And I'm using these trek wagons, which have like 36 range attack. One of them has 45 range attack just to defend my horse artillery. And so I'm just scraping together anything I can. Don't forget, TC Fire is still really strong. And scraping anything together to keep these horse artillery alive. So, I mean, the score, I'm almost double K score, but I feel like I could lose the game at any second right now because he's just applying such high pressure. On top of this, he's now shipped a couple more mortars, making a couple more mortars. And he's still applying. Look, he's still on a lot of villagers. But I am on 8 banks. He's now going for 3 TCs, and look at the containment on these 3 TCs. He's such an aggressive player. He's using his TCs as a way of trying to contain me. That might work on Legacy, but it doesn't work on DE. You might be the master of Legacy, but I am the daddy of DE. Ulan's thinking they might get a little poach in there. He takes a bank down. But look, I've managed to scrape together a few more Akans. Now I've got a lot of horse artillery where, yeah, look at that double kill, baby. Yeah, come at me, bruh. Come at me. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Now, I know I don't want to push out just yet and I'm happy losing a couple of banks here. I don't mind losing a couple of banks because I can get them back very easily as long as I don't lose the game here. And yes, you can see the next card I shipped was the war wagons, the Imperial war wagons. Wagon warfare cost 1,000 wood, but once it comes in, my God, are these babies worth it? So now I've got 5 horse artillery. I made a couple of culverins just in case. That was my contingency plan against those mortars. But I didn't need it in the end. Just like they were my contingency plan against my opponent's culverins last big fight I was in my base. And I didn't need them again. But that's okay. They're still going to be worth it. So now I'm just starting to try and mass as many of these war wagons. And I feel like if I can mass enough of these war wagons, Imperial war wagons, I will win the game. However, I am very insular right now. If you look at my opponent, look at where he is. He's covering all sections of the map to trap me in here. And so if I push out to any one of these TCs, then he can counterplay me very, very easily by diving into my base, taking my TC down, killing the banks, etc. So I've got to be very careful how I play this and how I counter push. But I do have war wagons now, which are a cavalry unit. They're very fast-moving units, so I feel a lot safer now. You do see over here as well, I even try and get an outpost over here, but he's got a villager herding my herd. My herd in. And I do take some jet wagons over there, just in case they need a little bit of TLC. And already, look, already he sees a handful of villagers, and he dives in over there to try and counterplay me. And as I'm pushing out at the same time as well, so I'm now being forced back again. I do have lots of resources, though. Lots and lots of resources. Basically, I've got 2 factories on food, and I've got currently 6 banks on gold. So I'm okay for resources. You know, I'm okay for resources. I only have 19 villagers. I only have 19 villagers. But that's okay. And look, 5 villagers that were up there, they're nice, safe and sound, thanks to these trek wagons. Once again, playing roulette with him. What one is he going to kill? And he killed the blank once again. So trek wagons, they are a very good unit if you know how to use them properly. And in this situation, rather than offensively, which I like to use trek wagons for, just because they soak a lot of damage, this game I've used them as a way of protecting my villagers. So don't forget, that is kind of how trek wagons are supposed to be designed. They're supposed to be floating, moving TCs as such. So now I see this TC, I go for the TC. And I've got a lot of horse artillery here, so he's going to struggle here. He does make some more culverins, which is a nice play here. I'm now shipping the Diamond Rush card, which gives me a diamond mine with 100,000 gold. So I don't need to move outside of my base anytime soon. And that would last me a good, like, what, 30 minutes? 100,000 gold. Oh, look at that bounce shot doing almost 100 damage to that culverin. Like I said, that's always why you fire with culverins, because you never know if the bounce shot is going to hit something. So I've now got 27 Imperial war wagons, and you can take down my culverins. My culverins are right here, baby. Look at those beautiful blue war wagons, just absolutely decimating everything here. Yes, he has Jaegers. Yes, he has skirmishers, but these are age 3 skirmishers and age 3 mercenaries, and that's not going to be enough to kill these Imperial war wagons that quickly. Still have some horse guns at the same time as well. Score still looking really good for me, but I am only on 23 vills, but look at my resources. So Kurtaboy, he's up to 58 villagers. There goes the second TC. But he is on 60 villagers with war wagons, so he's got 5 war wagons, so he's on 65 villagers. But I'd say my eco is still stronger. Especially the natural resources are running out. This is basically the only mine left on the map. That one's running out. He's already got an estate down. There is a gold mine over here. Shipping in a team cavalry card. He's still in H3. This is his biggest problem. He's such an aggressive player. He's always on the attack, always making units, always forcing pressure on me. It's denied him getting into H4 here. And that might have cost him. That might cost him. So I'm just taking down infrastructure here, just chasing him around because he knows he can't take a fight. He can't take a good fight. So his best chance is to try and run around, try and kill some villagers. I see these war wagons coming a mile off, so I do decide to run some villagers down into the outpost. and run some away. I am building a House of Hanover because it's a really, really good native. I've spoken about House of Hanover so many times. Now I'm running around his base, trying to play Tig, play catch with some villagers, and horse guns. Dun, 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 dun. And then I see these beautiful vills over here and decide to go for them instead. But they are 405 HP, so they do distract me. But yeah, sending war wagons over to this TC now. Now it's my turn to play. Now it's your turn to play hide and seek. I'm literally double his score now. Double his score. But it still doesn't feel like it's quite over to me yet. It's still very, very tense. He still has that skirm comp, which I need to deal with. There's a lot of skirms here. Boom. Get that crack shot to kill a Jaeger there. Nice, really nice use of my... now he's chasing me with a larger mass of war wagons. But I do turn up here, and now I start seeing lots of villagers. Now the tide of battle is starting to turn. I do ship in royal card games, and that's going to give me a random card from my deck. And that is why it's a very good tech to get when you're in a revolution, because often some revolutionary cards are very, very strong. Well, I'll show you what card I get in a second. I have shipped Wanderlust, I think, at some point, or I can't remember if I've shipped it yet or not. And he's trying to build a wall really, really quickly. Trying to dive in here, trying to catch my artillery out. And the royal card game ends up being Pioneers, perhaps the worst card that could have been sent out. I've only got 22 bills, and it sends me Pioneers. But hey, it's all fun and games at the end of the day. And now I've trapped him. He tries to get some culverins to deal with the horse artillery, but it doesn't matter because I have 30 Imperial war wagons, and that's going to be enough. That is going to be enough. Finally, playing catch around the map. Yes, he kills a big triple kill there with artillery, but it does not matter. And all I need right now is veteran Imperial war wagons. So I'm going to end the game on 22 vills. So much gold stacked. There it is. Imperial war wagons, baby. And I wanted to show you that game because it was very tense for most of that game. 90% of the game, it was very tense. It looked like he could have won the game very early. Mid-game, he could have won it. Thanks to my Trek wagon saving my villagers there. It was such a close game. And it was just one I was proud of because I don't play Dutch all that often. Dutch is a very hard civ to be good with. They take a very lot of intense micro and macro, a lot of strategy as well, and macro resource. But I managed to do it. And I was really happy. I went for Town Militia, then I went for the Fort, very defensive. Then I went for the Akan Musk card. Managed to defend myself long enough till I could get into the Dutch. Into the South Africa revolt. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one because my God, that was one of my favorite games, and it was such a fun game to play that I saved the recording from. It was live on Twitch, like I said earlier, and I just wanted to show you guys that game. So yeah, look at this. Was unable to build villagers for a long portion of that game, and we need to go to villager population. I mean, at one point he was on 56 vills. I was on 21, but then I got the revolt in there. I got up to 8 banks. I killed a lot of his villagers as well, and he did a huge remass there with the free TC, but I pushed at the right time and yeah, killed all of his villagers. And yeah, it was a really, really fun game. My most made unit was 54 Akans, and yeah, that Kurta boy, we ended up, he was almost 2100 elo, highest rated player on the Asian Dynasties, Legacy, Age of Empires 3, and yeah, he's a very, very good player. And yeah, that was really, really fun playing against him. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as I did. A fun game of me for once. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next game. Peace.